proud members of the Podbelly Network.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, come on, you know I don't watch that shit.
Why not? Too scared?
No, it's just what's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
To
Kim and Kat Stay Alive, Maybe. We're a horror movie comedy podcast. We are going to tell you the entirety of the movie. We're going to spoil the fuck out of it. And Krakaren is going to tell us the movie this week.
And Kim Burns is going to try to stay alive in it.
Me.
And that's me.
Great. What's up, dude?
Nothing, dude. I like seeing your face.
Me too.
Kim and I got to see our faces in 3D.
Social
yesterday.
distance spaced.
Yeah. We sat 10 feet apart in lawn chairs with masks on and just talked to each other for 2 hours. And it was fucking delightful.
Glorious. It was.
Yeah.
I don't have words. What are words that are synonymous with glorious?
Yeah.
Magnificent. It was unicorn land.
Yep.
Rainbows and sunshine.
Totally unicorn land. I gave her some banana bread that was baked with love inside of it. My own love.
I drank all the drinks.
Yep. And
non-alcoholic drinks still, but
I drank all the alcoholic drinks. It was fucking great.
Yeah. Considering I haven't really been in touch with a person in 2.5 months, it was life-changing.
Yeah. So we're still being super safe.
Yeah, not that we didn't touch each other or get anywhere close to each
other. But it was definitely
there was just a chair set up for me, and I sat in it, and that was it.
Yep. And because we just found out that LA is going to be on lockdown for another 3 months,
almost certainly. But
yes.
Depending on numbers and such and blah, but pretty much.
Yes. That is Kim's going insane in quarantine song. Yeah. This is a weird time. And so,
is it?
I'm feeling weird.
No.
And Kim said something to me last week where you were like, "Oh, I had a good cry today, like set a timer."
Yeah.
I am a cryy kind of person, so that never occurred to me because I was like, I cry all the time.
Yeah.
But what I realized today was I haven't cried over this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've cried because things are stressful and, whatever, but I haven't had a grief cry over this until today, and that was actually really helpful.
Good. Yeah, it's a nice release.
Yeah, it was. I was a little concerned that they wouldn't turn off. I think I cried off and on for about 2 hours.
Yeah, I think that setting an alarm is even though you can cry as long as you want, you know what I mean, cry all day. But for those of us that are highly sensitive and feel our feels very deeply, like Krakaren and I, it can sometimes feel scary, just the idea of releasing the Kraken. And so I just think in a psychological way.
Releasing the Kraken. I'll see myself out, but I can't.
Goodbye.
I have to stay home.
Oh no! All bad jokes must stay. I have another Kraken joke too, which I'll tell after this. After I tell my good information, and then I have a dumb Kraken joke.
I can't wait.
Can we name this episode? It's just great Kraken jokes for you. All the Kraken jokes you could have imagined.
Kraken jokes.
Kraken. Anyway, it can psychologically and mentally, it can make you feel a little safe because you're okay, no, I'm giving myself the next 5-10 minutes or whatever. And then if you want to cry for 2 hours, fucking go for it. You know what I mean? But like, I think it like opens the door to being like, I can do this and be safe. Like, I'll be safe. I'll be okay. And I can stop in 10 minutes. And if I want, you know, it's like a weird mental brain turn off thing.
Yeah, I agree. What's your second Kraken joke that you'd like to crack?
Kraken's been really big in my life lately. I don't know why. Because me and E were talking about Karens.
Karens are real Krakens.
Yeah. Or a Krakaren.
Oh.
Release the Krakaren.
Wow. Okay. So what is your... Oh, was that the Kraken joke?
Yeah. Release the Krakaren.
Release the Krakaren.
I didn't say it was good. I just said I had one.
You know, you're right. You didn't oversell it. I raised my expectations too high, and that's on me.
Did you see the meme that... Oh, let me find it real quick. That tells the levels of the Karens and the Chads, young and old.
No. Tell me.
I just had it the other. Okay. Becky is a younger Karen, and Susan is their mentor. Their male counterparts: Brock, Chad, Walter.
Brock, Chad, Walter. Yeah. That works out. That really works out.
Chad and Karen.
Man. So Susan is the highest order, and then Walter is the highest order.
Yeah.
And then Karen. Susan doesn't do that for me, though.
Because you have a Susan that you love, yeah.
But yeah, and she was like not a Karen. She was like the opposite of a Karen.
Yeah.
But I hear you. Susan is definitely a name for like boomers.
Yeah.
Which would be, wow. When I speak in like long sentences, I'm exhausted by the end of it. I'm really glad I get to tell a story.
Yeah. I'm excited for 2 hours of you talking.
Yeah. It's going to be, if I fall asleep, just text Eric and he'll come into the room and jostle me.
Jostle you. Okay.
That's what we'll do. Do we have anything else to talk about?
We're still doing the Podbelly sticker giveaway thing, I believe, if they haven't run out of stickers.
Oh, right.
You can get a free sticker by going to www.podbelly.com/shop and using the discount code Kevin the Pig.
Kevin the Pig.
And you get a free sticker, and you can listen to any other Podbelly podcasts, too.
Yes. I would also like to talk about our merch that we still have. You can still get Stay at Home, Stay Alive T-shirts with 50% of the proceeds going to, just like help with COVID stuff, honestly.
Right.
That's what the UN Foundation is doing. They're like, we're just going to help in whatever way the world needs. We're on it.
Right.
50% of proceeds go to that. We also have some new and exciting designs coming out in our merch store.
I know. Do you think it'll be out by the time this episode comes out? We have one I'm really excited about.
I think it will. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it will.
There's probably a new and exciting one I'm really excited about. Speaking of which,
Gina holes out.
Tits up.
chink.
Here's what I will say. What Kim and I just did is a clue to what our next merch item will be. Also, I bought 2 of our sweatshirts because I just am only wearing sweatshirts and sweatpants, and like I just like didn't have enough
Sure.
them.
Quarantine uniform, of course.
Exactly. They are so fucking comfortable. It's banana boats, because you don't until you like get an article of clothing, like especially sweatshirts, you like don't actually know like how soft or comfortable it's going to be. These sweatshirts are so comfortable.
Good. Happy to hear that.
Wore it all day yesterday, slept in it, and then took it off around 1:00 today. So it's really, what's up with your glasses?
Don't worry about it. It's fine. Nothing.
Got it. Okay. I couldn't tell that they were a little bit crooked until you did that, and now it's all I can see. So thanks. They were fine until you did something weird, and now I'm losing it. Okay, now they're fine. I'm into it.
Thank you.
Maybe your eyebrows are crooked. Maybe that's
Maybe yours are. Actually, I think my ears are a little crooked. Most glasses are a little weird on me.
That's really cute. You have stupid crooked ears?
And my little elf ears are a little off balance, I believe.
Oh my God, that's so cute. I love it.
Or my nose. Something's going on there.
Or your nose. Something is off on your face.
It's just too beautiful that my glasses get a little crooked.
Yep, and that's face science.
Face science. Facts.
I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else?
I don't
either.
either. Fucking life. Just living it. Doing the same thing always. Do I have anything interesting that happened?
I mean, what could there be?
Nope.
I got a plant. It's called Young Money.
Fun. Young Money.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's what's happening in my plant life.
Cool.
Yeah. Do you want to hear a movie, I guess?
I think so, yeah. Can I guess?
Okay,
wait,
great.
can I guess what it is?
Yes. So this was a Patreon
Yes.
pick. Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Is it... Well, okay. I sent E like the clue, and I was like, guess what it is. But I did tell him it definitely starts with an R, because that's the only thing I knew about him.
Yeah.
He guessed The Ritual.
E is correct.
Yay!
E, come on down. You've won nothing because we can't leave our house. Good job. Yes, I watched The Ritual.
Whoop, whoop. I'm excited about this.
Yeah. And I have a visual aid to show you when the time comes. Oh, that was what I was like, how am I going to show Kim this visual aid? I guess I can like hold it up to the computer. And then like last night when you were like, how do I show you this picture from 10 feet away? And you were like, oh, I can just text it you. Like I can just text you. So I was glad that we had that conversation last night because I was like, how am I going to show? What am I talking? Okay. I'm telling you a movie now. Here we go.
I'm excited.
Yeah. All right. Dead or alive?
Oh, no. I forgot about this part. Okay, go.
Yep.
I'm ready.
Rob.
Dead.
Dom.
Alive.
Luke.
Alive.
Phil.
Dead.
Hutch.
Dead. No, alive. Alive. Unless I was wrong. Then switch it back. I don't know.
Young woman.
Alive.
And little lady.
Alive.
I really thought you were going to do so good.
I don't understand. Okay, moving on. Whatever. We all know we're bad.
Here we go. All right. The Ritual. So this is on Netflix. This was filmed in 2018 or came out in 2018. I'm not sure because one said 2018, one said 2017. So that's a super interesting point that nobody cares about. Moving on. So it opens on crowd noises. And
Remember crowds?
That was so surreal to me. Like I had this visceral reaction where I was like, everyone's standing so close. Where's everyone's mask? It was so fucking weird. Okay, so crowd noises. It's a bunch of people in a bar watching football. And I called it football instead of soccer because then I was inundated with British accents. And I said, hooray!
I love British accents.
There were so many. It's only British accents in the whole film.
I'm going to have to watch this.
Yes. And they're pretty cute.
And tickle me bean.
Well.
What do we
tickle
call
me bean! What did I... Thwacking the bean.
Thwacking. Better.
But
better.
But I really... Tickle me bean sounds more British.
True. Americans thwack at the bean, but British people tickle the bean.
I'ma go inside and thwack the bean, okay? I hated that person that just came out of my mouth. Tickle me bean! Okay, so here we go. A guy is bringing over 3 beers to a table, and it's 5 dudes sitting around talking about where they're going to go this year on their
their
lads'
trip?
holiday.
Oh, cute.
Yes.
They're the boy version of us and our best friends.
Totally the boy version. It's, well, hold that thought.
Okay.
They, yeah. Hold on.
For right now.
Yeah. This is a good, you know what? This is a good survival guide for our trips.
Great.
I think it's important. I think that's how we can take this. So they're all talking about where to go, and they're like, Ibiza, which I know that it's pronounced Ibiza and not Ibiza, but I hate that pronunciation. It really upsets me.
That's because you've never been to Barcelona.
Oh, I hate that one too. I don't know why. It's like the word moist to me for some reason. Like, I just don't, it's just like, I know that moist is
funny.
a word that needs to be used, and I get that it is a word, but like, I just don't like it. So
Fair.
anyway, okay. So they're like, how about Tuscany? How about Belgium? And they're like, what's in Belgium? Nobody's voluntarily gone to Belgium. And
I
he's
don't
like,
think that's
42%
true.
alcohol beer.
Yeah.
They're all, here was the only thing I could think of. They're all British, and this was during Brexit, because they make a Brexit joke. So like, for them, maybe Belgium is like it's like going to, I don't know,
Idaho?
Illinois, Idaho. Yeah.
Yeah.
For maybe.
Okay.
So,
But yeah, that would be my reasoning is like, oh, they have great beer though.
It-
Seems
great
like
beer.
a great boys
Exactly.
trip to go drink a bunch of beer.
totally. So then one of them suggests hiking, like a really like intense camping hiking situation.
No, thank you.
So they're like, yeah, that sounds like a cool idea. So then they're like talking about like, where can we go on like a registered hike? Like where you're like, I'm going to check in at this lodge. We're going to hike and see you back in 3 days or whatever the fuck. And they're outside of the bar and they're walking and they're like, should we go to like Sweden or Norway? Like I've heard about these hiking places, blah, blah, blah. And then that's where I learned that the 5 guys are named Luke, Phil, Hutch, Dom, and Robert. Those are our sync boys.
Okay.
And Luke, as they're walking home, is like, hey, I'm going to stop in the liquor store. And the other boys, especially Dom, is like, it's a school night. Like, I'm married. I have kids. Like, I'm not going to, like, drink more.
When this is over, can we give who would be who for our
100%
girls versus the boys?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So wants to go into the liquor store. And Luke kind of gets Robert to come in with him. Like, he's like, come on. Like, you don't have a wife and kids. Like, you have no excuse to not come in the liquor store with me.
Sure.
So they go in, and Luke says something about, like, wanting to make this, like, the old times. Because I guess, like, Dom was like, do you know that Dom wanted to make this, like, a brunch? Like, a lad's brunch? And I just won't have that. And Rob is, like, really nice. And he's just like, you know, we're getting older. Like, we're not 21 anymore. Like, you know, whatever. And Luke is like, it's a shame what he's become. And Robert is like, yeah, super successful and married with gorgeous children. I mean,
Right.
like, it's fine. Then, as they walk to get vodka, they hear this heavy breathing. And they both turn to their right. And they see the clerk laying on the ground, like up against the wall, beaten and bloody and unable to speak.
Oh my God.
Like, she's just gotten beat up. At that point, 3 dudes come out from the back and are like holding another guy like by the throat. And they're like, come on, we know that you have where's the rest of it? Where's the rest of it? So the robbers, as they came out, had their back to Luke and Robert. So, Kim, question number 1, what do you do and what does Luke do?
I'm going to call the police from outside of this place.
How are you going to get outside? Because they are blocking your way between...
Oh, I thought they came from the back, you said.
But you've kind of gone to the back. So, basically, like... All right, let me try and describe this because I think it'll be helpful. So there's shelves, really tall shelves, all up and down the liquor store.
Okay.
You have gone all the way to the back wall of the store.
Okay.
That's where the vodka is that you want. Okay.
Right.
To your right, directly next to you, is the clerk behind the thing, but it's like parallel to the shelves, which is why you're able to see her behind the thing.
Okay.
The door that these guys came out of is on the other side of the counter, so they've kind of come out like kind of at you.
Okay.
Going parallel along, so they don't immediately see you when they
Right.
come out of that door.
Okay. And they have guns or knives, or we don't see?
You don't see. It's unclear.
Okay.
I mean, you can assume that they're dangerous because they just beat the living shit out of the
Sure.
clerk.
Yeah. I'm going to hide. I'm going to grab a liquor bottle as a weapon, and I'm going to hide behind one of the farthest away little whatchamahoozits. Like just like duck behind it and call 911 from there.
And that's what you do.
That's what I do. He, I don't know him yet. He seems to like to party, but maybe it's hard to say either way. But I'm gonna say he fucking loves to fight too, and he's gonna fucking go after these guys.
That's one hotel bell for you.
Thank you.
So what you said you would do is verbatim, as if you had seen the film, what Luke does.
Shut the fuck up. Amazing.
Yeah. However, this is a really interesting question that we ask ourselves. The existential question of what keeps us alive versus what keeps us emotionally alive.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So Luke has a knee-jerk reaction where he ducks behind the shelf. Rob does not react as quickly or fast enough. And so he sees the robbers and then turns around and sees Luke is not there anymore because Luke has ducked behind the shelf. He can still kind of like see the corner of Luke's like body a little bit, but the robbers can't. Okay. So the robbers then come up to Rob and they're like, give me your fucking wallet. And Rob is kind of going back and forth about like, no, he's not like saying no, but he's also not just like handing it over right away.
Right.
And we see that Luke is holding the liquor bottle and like turns it upside down to be like, this is going to be my weapon. The robbers tell Rob to also give him his wedding ring. Oh, that's what it was. So he gave him his wallet. And then they were like, give me your wedding ring. And he was like, it's my fucking wedding ring. And he kind of like looks back at Luke. And Luke does a very subtle, like, don't give it to them. Because he knows that he's got this bottle.
Yeah.
So he says no. At that point, the robber picks up a bat and whacks Rob in the head. He falls to the ground. Rob goes to lift his head up all bloody, looks at Luke, and the robber hits him again, and he's dead.
Oh my God.
And Luke is like, fuck my life. So then the robbers leave. Cut to.
Oh, I'm traumatized.
Yeah. So that's sort of what I was like, wow, exactly what Luke did. Kept him alive, but now he is tortured eternally. That this happened. So
oof.
That's why I was like, maybe we don't say which of Sync is Rob because they're immediately dead.
Okay, fair.
But, So, cut to Luke waking up in a tent. He unzips it. He looks outside. It is the middle of nowhere, mountainous but not snowy mountain. It's as if we're actually back in Hagazusa, the movie Hagazusa, but not during the winter. So it's northern Sweden we see, and it says 6 months later on the screen. Then we see 3 other tents, but no one else is awake yet. And then title card, The Ritual. Luke is sitting on a rock and he's smoking. And then Phil gets up out of his tent and he's like, I'm going to make coffee. Then the rest of them wake up and we hear Hutch, who, did you watch Downton Abbey?
Yep.
Okay. So you know the young asshole butler with the dark hair that's like
Vaguely.
always. Okay. So he's in this. He
Okay.
plays Hutch.
Okay.
And he's like got some scruff and some beard. And I'm like, ooh,
Hi.
you're way less pretty now. And now I'm into you. Okay. So Hutch is the one who's like, okay, 1 night down, 2 to go. So they're walking and they're just like talking about the majesty of hiking. And they're like, wow, it just makes you feel so insignificant. And Luke kind of looks up and like, it's just like a cloud covered mountain. And then, Phil starts talking about like how his feet hurt, and he's like, these boots are so expensive, like why are my feet hurting? And they were like, even if they're super expensive, like you still have to break them in. You can't just like buy shoes and hike in them. And so we can tell that like his feet are really hurting, which is like my worst nightmare. Like I'd be like, I'm going back to the lodge, goodbye forever, like my feet hurt no more.
Yeah.
So one of them is like, I think I found the spot. And he's like at the top of that hill. Now, top of that hill is like a day's, like it's really, really far away. And it's like in the clouds. So they get there and they look out over just like beautiful nothing for eternity.
Mm.
Luke is smoking this whole time and like in
my
the front of
God.
the pack. And I'm just like, how?
How?
Like how? The air is thinner. You're on a giant hike and you're smoking. Like, what are you doing?
No, thank
It's also
you.
just like weird to see people smoke nowadays in movies. Like I
It
don't
is,
feel
yeah.
like it happens very often. Okay, so Luke is smoking while 2 of the others, Dom and Phil, are like Dom goes, fuck every hill in the world. Like he's definitely like not
Struggling.
in hiking shape at all.
And Phil is the one that's like successful, married with kids.
Dom is the one who's successful and married
Dom
with kids.
is the one successful, married with kids. Okay.
And the one who was kind of like, it's a school night.
Okay, that's Dom.
Phil is the one who bought really expensive shoes and didn't break them in.
Okay.
Hutch is hot butler from Downton Abbey, and Hutch appears to be the leader in terms of like his knowledge of how this whole hiking thing works. Like he's the one carrying the compass and the map.
Okay. Those are all helpful personality traits.
Exactly. So they make this, so they get up to the top of the hill and they're like, should we do this? And they make a pile of rocks and they put a pic of Rob into the pile of rocks.
Oh God. Oh my God. I'm having a lot of feelings about this. I'm very upset.
It's really, really
Ooh.
tough. It's really tough. And it gets, well, strap in. So
I don't want to strap in.
we have to wear our seatbelts and our masks.
I want to release the Krakaren.
So they say some nice words about Rob. And then Dom says, it should have never happened. And Hutch then says, but it did, and all we can do is remember him. They all pass around a flask and they take a swig. And then Hutch pours the rest of it out onto the ground. And then they leave the flask on the memorial. Dom is the first one to walk off. And Luke obviously just looks... I just wrote, Luke looks riddled. Like, but I didn't finish the sentence. I just riddled with guilt, riddled with grief, riddled with all of
Probably
it.
just
He's
feelings
riddled.
in general.
Exactly.
Yes, I can imagine.
So now we cut to nighttime, and they're all talking. One of them is standing off alone. I watched this during the daytime, and it's also a very, very, very dark movie. So there's a lot of times where I'm like, there are footsteps happening.
Yeah, you can't see anything.
People are talking. I can't tell you what's going on. So I wrote pitch fucking black, but I can hear footsteps. But it's like the footsteps of people.
Okay.
As far as I can tell.
Great.
So
That's why I use fucking closed captioning half the time. So I'm just like, tell me what the sounds are that are happening in case I can't hear them.
This is the exact
really
moment
helpful.
when I turned on closed captioning. Yeah. So, because if it says like ominous footsteps, I'm
Right.
like, oh, I should pay attention.
I get
to this.
it now.
Yeah. So
Distant cries, and I'm like,
right.
cool. Thanks for letting me know. I didn't hear him.
terrifying growling. Oh, I didn't even catch that. Thank you. So, Hutch is like, Rob would have loved this place. And Luke says something about like, except we wouldn't be here, we'd be on a lad's holiday. But like, I guess they were saying like it was Rob's idea to go hiking. They would have eventually talked him out of it, but he died. And so they're going on this hiking trip,
in
which was
honor
his
of
suggestion.
him. Yeah.
Is
Do you
I
want to
think
know
what I
what
was
a
supposed to-
lad's holiday would mean?
Yes.
I've been I've been watching a lot of Love Island UK recently.
Sure.
They have some wonderful accents and a lot of terminology. Very, very
Okay.
specific terminology that they're using. Reminds me very much of fucking Simon that I dated years ago because he's from Essex, and so it's like a lot of the things he uses, like he says bird and stuff for women. But a lad is kind of like a party dude. Like it would be the trip where they're just going and drinking and kind of like that kind of trip instead of.
So that makes a lot more sense as to why, like, hiking was like they were like
Right.
Vegas. It'd be like, okay,
Yes.
so that actually
So be like,
makes
yeah,
a
like
lot more
exactly like a
sense.
Vegas trip as compared to a hiking trip.
Got it.
A
Okay.
lad's holiday.
Lad's holiday. By the way, when we can take our sync trip again, we're calling it a lad's holiday.
Do you want to know another fun term? A slag is a slut. And I was like,
A slag.
Just a
Oh my
slag.
gosh.
and they're all getting pied off. Which just
pied
means
off.
You put a pie in someone's face is how you like get rid of them, basically, like in a couple sort of. Because they're all like mixing the couples up and stuff to survive. And he's like, he pied me off.
What?
And now I look like a
me off.
mug. So fun. It's so fun.
I thought that pied off was going to be like yet another term for thwacking the bean.
It's literally a pie to the face.
Wow. Okay. I love it.
Yeah. Anyway,
Where am I?
we're hiking. We're not on a lad's holiday.
Right. So at this point, this is where Hutch says to Luke tends to walk off a lot by himself and kind of stand by trees and smoke cigarettes.
Having a tough
Okay?
time. For sure,
Yeah.
sure.
So Hutch comes over.
How was your trip? A lot of standing by trees, smoking cigarettes.
Looking riddled.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hutch walks over and he says, no matter what anyone says, it wasn't your fault.
Oh, thank you, Hutch.
Yeah. So at this point, they see tiny lights in the distance and realize the lodge is still like 4 million miles away. Now, I couldn't tell from context, actually, if they were saying, oh, the lodge is still really far away, like we're getting to the lodge, or referring to how far they had come from the lodge. It was unclear to me.
Okay.
But basically, they could see teeny, minuscule little lights in the distance, and that was the lodge. So that tells us how far they were from any other
From it. Okay.
civilization. Cut to next day. It is pouring rain. Just
Great.
all the rain in the world
Great.
is being dumped on them.
Sounds like
It's
a
that rain.
fun trip.
Yeah, it's that rain where it feels like just a bucket is being poured on you for eternity.
Yes. Like when we were in New Orleans and on the cemetery tour, and it just started pouring rain on us.
Yes. Now, here's the difference. We were drunk in New Orleans, and it was 4 million degrees out.
Yeah, so it felt good.
These poor lads, it is freezing. There's no civilization, and they have to keep walking, and they have 70-pound backpacks on.
Oh, God.
So that pleasant little rendezvous we had in the Skywater, not what these gentlemen are experiencing.
Thank you for that differentiation.
You're welcome. So they're walking away from the memorial now. Like they're packing up their shit to keep heading on. Cut to walking, and now the rain has stopped, but it is so windy that it's that terrifying Swedish wind that's just like, I'm a ghost. Okay. That's what the wind sounds like. And Dom then says, Sweden can lick my bridge.
Oh.
Bonus point. I didn't even write this down. Bonus point. What is the anatomical term for the bridge that Dom might be referring to?
I want to say taint.
That is not the I'll give you a half a point because, yes, he is referring to the taint. But the anatomical term we were looking for is the perineum. The perineum. Half a bonus point.
Thank you.
Okay. So at this point, Dom trips and falls. So I guess we know that Dom is Kristen.
Oh, man. It's Kristen. Oh, Kristen.
And guys, just so you know, we make fun of Kristen for falling straight to her face.
All the time.
So, yeah, so you don't need to think that we're
really just
talking
one
shit.
Trip. It was like an LA trip. They were all here, and she fell so many times. She fell
so
on the
many
beach.
times.
She fell on Hollywood Boulevard. She fell at Dodger Stadium. She fell so many times.
So many times. But we also have to remember that she also face planted in college in the crosswalk walking to the theater department.
Right.
So she has a history.
She's a history,
guys.
Fine.
But yeah, we make fun of her straight to her face. So don't think we're being assholes. I mean, we're being assholes, but we'd be assholes straight to her face. So here we go. So Dom is the Kristen.
I love it.
And at this point, he takes his backpack off. And because he's like, ouch, I really fell. And they tell him to walk it off. And they all kind of seem like they seem like Dom is the one. Here's where he's not Kristen. He seems like the one who, if they were playing a pickup basketball game, would be like, ow, you fouled me, game over, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's kind of a wuss in that way. So when he falls, they don't rush to his aid. Exactly.
Got it.
And so
they're not peeing their pants laughing like we do at Kristen.
Right. Dom also seems like someone who'd be very upset if you laughed at him. Kristen really
She's
just took it
champ.
like a champ. Yeah.
She takes it like a champ.
Kristen, we love you so much.
We love you so much. I mean,
I can't wait till you fall in our presence again.
Falling's hilarious. Have I shared with you this? There's an Instagram video that I watch sometimes on my own, and it makes me laugh so much.
What is it?
It's so bad. It's it was during Easter. It's a child. Okay, it's two adults on either side of this toddler, basically. And both people are filming it, so we get the behind view and the front view.
Oh,
so
okay.
He's running from one person to the other with his little Easter basket full of shit. Okay. I'm so sorry. And then the dog comes from the side and tackles him so hard. And then they show it again from the front view. And it's it makes me laugh so much. I'm so sorry.
Can we please share?
So funny.
Can we please share it on social media?
I will definitely share it on social media. And you can tell me you can all tell me if I'm a monster or not, but it makes me so happy. It's literally
what? I'm sure that here's the thing. If that kid had become deceased due to this, I don't think that they would have posted the video.
Sure, exactly.
So I'm sure the kid is fine.
The first time I saw it, someone wrote someone get this dog a contract with the NFL.
Oh my God, you
I'm
guys.
crying. Okay.
Kim's little tear face as she's laugh crying is making me so happy. Oh my God. I love it. I haven't even seen the video and my face hurts from laughing. Okay. So Kim, Dom fell. Please
Dom was attacked by a dog.
Dom was attacked by a dog. And he says, Kim, it's serious. He says, no, it's my meniscus. I've done it before. It's fucked.
Oh, my meniscus.
So Hutch is like, well, it's still 1,000,000 miles. So what are we doing, Dom? He's like, do you see that forest right there? He's like, we have to walk around that forest, and it's like the forest is on a mountain, and he's like, we have to walk around that mountain. So like we still have a long fucking way to go. And he's like, so what are we doing, Dom? Like he has just like no sympathy. He's like, what are we doing? Are you gonna walk or
fucking
what?
Horrible. Yeah. Like what do you do?
Right. And so okay, and then he says, he's like, it's like 6 hours till we camp. So are you really actually hurt, or are you being dumb? Like he's kind of trying to
got you.
figure this out.
Right.
But for all intents and purposes, Dom can walk, so he can put weight on it. But it's still, how bad is it going to get kind of thing. So question number 2.
Okay.
Right. Question number 2. What do you do, and what do they decide to do?
I never go on this trip, and I take a lad's holiday. What?
Right. Here's some information that I think might be helpful. This doesn't come until I don't learn this until later, but I think it's useful and it doesn't spoil anything because this is like a registered hike. There are people that saw you leave and would expect you to show up at a certain point.
Okay.
So I if that helps.
Is it farther?
As opposed to like being sharked and narked in the like you're you made up this whole thing kind of thing.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Fair. Is it? Do we know if it's farther forward or farther to just like turn back?
That's part of the predicament. It looks like they're exactly in the middle.
If we're exactly in the middle and he can walk, I think we should just go back to the beginning. Okay. Because even if if it gets worse or something, by the time we're back, we'll be at a civilization area and he can like go to the doctor or whatever.
Okay. And what do they do?
I think. I think they basically tell him to walk it off kind of thing and keep going forward. Hey, Saved by the Bell.
That was 1.5 points.
Okay.
What you said to do was brilliant. Go back the way you came. And yes, if it gets worse, at least you know for certain that you are walking towards someone that can help you.
Mm-hmm.
Great choice. What they do, Luke and Hutch kind of walk off a little away from Dom and Phil. Luke and Hutch are clearly like the ones that are the best at this.
Okay.
Because we have Dom, who's Dom, and then Phil, who like doesn't even know to break in his boots.
Right.
So they walk off and they're like, you know, it's not as bad as he says it is, but we could end up carrying him or listening to him complain all the way.
Right.
So then Hutch says, or we could cut straight through this forest and cut the journey to the lodge in half.
Oh, no.
And he's like, it's off-trail hiking. It could be some fun.
I don't think off-trail hiking is the option to help a hurt person hike
You
better.
and me, girl. You and me, girl. It was a terrible idea. Spoiler alert. Let's find out why, shall we?
Don't just climb through the forest to help my meniscus.
Right.
Give me a fucking pathway, bro.
So Luke says, I think it's a better idea if we just leave them here, meaning Phil and Dom, because Phil is almost useless with his dumb shoes as well. Leave them with food and we'll go get help. Because Luke is kind of like, he did actually hurt his meniscus before.
Right.
This isn't great.
Right.
So what can we do? And we're the fastest and strongest. They can just stay on this fucking hill. Like, just camp here. Here's all the food. We'll come get you.
Okay.
Dom kind of hears this and he's like, you're not leaving me on this fucking mountain. And he's like, if you know a quicker route, let's do it. I can walk. Like, he's like, I can walk. And my preference is to walk as little as possible. And I don't want to just be like left alone on a mountain.
Okay. Fair.
So cut to...
This reminds me of when I did that waterfall hike and the chick that I was with had to be helicoptered out.
Oh my God, that was so scary.
Yeah, it was like
that
me and my friend
so
Heather
scary.
and like her friend and her friend's sister. And her friend's sister like fell down the mountain into a dry riverbed and like hit her head. Her leg bone was outside of her leg.
I forget. Did you see it or just...
I mean, I saw her down. I didn't her sister was kind of down there. Like me and Heather were immediately like, we need to get help because we were like in the middle of the hike. Basically, we were like,
know exactly
inside the forest.
About.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was no cell service. So like we kind of just saw what happened. And we were like, we have to go get help. So we ran the entire, like, I don't know what it was, like 2 or 3 miles out to like, and then knocked on some random doors and asked for help. And then had to wait for people to come in. And then we had to walk back in with like the firemen.
Yeah.
And then she had to be airlifted out. She was fine. Everyone. She was fine. But fucking
again,
terrifying.
If the end of this story was, and she died, we probably wouldn't be telling it to you.
I would not share it.
Nonchalantly.
Yeah.
Just like the toddler that was eaten by that dog that tackled him. Spoiler alert,
scary.
the dog ate him.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, I've never done that waterfall hike again.
No, that's not true. I think you did do it again.
Did I?
Because the only reason that I know exactly where she fell is because I went with you on it and you were like, this is where she fell almost to her death.
Oh, crazy.
And I was like, that sounded crazy. And then we're walking back and you're like, can you imagine running this whole way? And I'm like, no. Why are we here?
Wow, I'm a fucking adventurer and I didn't even know it.
Yeah, that was several years ago, possibly pre-therapy, not sure. Because, that was, you were just like, let me go right back up into my trauma ditch. Here we go. Let's go for a hike.
I was pretty willing to do anything for a long while there.
True.
In my 20s.
Yeah.
Most of my 20s was just fucking go for it. Who cares?
Hiking back up to trauma ditches.
Anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So cut to Forest of Eternity. So basically what this is like the camera pans up and it just keeps panning up forever.
Right.
To just, for the rest of eternity is a forest.
Sure.
So cut to them now approaching the forest. So the edge of the forest. And Hutch is like, so like we saw the forest from the top of the mountain where it was like, we need to go through that.
Right.
And so we just saw, and now we cut to, we've walked there. We're at the edge of the forest. We're about to go into the forest.
Okay.
So Hutch or somebody is like, how's the knee, Dom? And Dom is like, killing me. How's your mom? And he's like, we should have gone to Vegas. And then Hutch says, you'd have found something to fall over there too, Kris. I mean, Dom.
Zing.
So he's definitely like, he's in pain. So they walk past, as they're like walking through the forest, they walk past an old grown over VW bus.
Interesting.
That's like, now part of the landscape. It's clearly been there a long time.
Sure.
And they're like, funny place to park. And Luke is like, I got a hand job in one of those once. And then Dom or Phil says, are you sure this is a good idea? And Hutch is like, are you scared of the woods? And I'm like, yes. You should be. You're in a horror movie.
Don't you know that?
Yeah. So Hutch is holding the compass, and he's clearly like good at compassing.
Great. I mean, at least there's that.
Yeah. It's really quiet. And Hutch talks about how trees, it's so quiet in the forest because trees literally soak up sound. And he's like, Sweden, why is that funny? That was science.
I don't know. It's just thinking of things.
That really tickled her bean, guys. I don't know why. So this was interesting to me, and I'm assuming it's true. It says, Hutch says Sweden was into logging until the 1950s, and then they packed it in and said no more logging. And that's why Sweden is an untouched beauty and England is a car park.
Wow.
And I was like,
interesting.
And I was like, wow, if you think England's a car park, come on over to Car Park America.
I think I was just like finishing the sentence that you were saying here, because you're like, the reason it's so quiet in the forest is, and I was like filling it in with all these different things, but then you just said trees.
What were some
sound.
of the things that you filled it in with?
Trees are boring. They don't have a lot to say to each other. Trees.
That is very rude to trees. Just because you don't speak tree-ish doesn't mean that they don't have anything to say to each other. Maybe they're just not talking to you, Kim.
I was just wondering.
Maybe they just have nothing to say to you.
Trees are so quiet. No, forests are so quiet.
So, So he's spouting off about Sweden being beautiful, and Dom goes, if you like Sweden so much, why don't you marry it? Except he's British. If you like Sweden so much, why don't you marry it? And I'm like, dude, calm down. So Dom at this point like says he has to rest. And they decide to take a selfie together, all four of them.
Cute.
And rather than saying cheese, they say Brexit. And then Luke is like, great, 4 twats in a forest. And I was like, oh my God, 4 twats in a forest. That's so cute.
That's also us, but 5.
Yeah, 5 twats in a forest. We are never going to a forest, Sink. If this movie is our survival guide, we're never going to a forest.
I'm always much more down for a lad's holiday than a
lad's holiday.
A slag's holiday, which was, to be honest, most of our early 20s holidays.
A slag's holiday. Guys, that's what we're calling it. A slag's holiday.
Now half of us are married and things, so.
Yeah. Jenna has 2 children. I'm sure she'll love the new name we've come up with.
Still slag for some of us.
Yeah. Hey, just because I'm married doesn't mean I'm not a slag at heart.
True.
I will never.
That's true. You know what?
Yeah.
You're right.
I will never not be a slag. I'm a slag and proud of it.
Good for you.
So, cut to just forest, creepy forest sounds is verbatim what I wrote. Just what a forest sounds like.
And the silence, apparently, according to Hutch, Dom,
right.
Phil, one of them.
The guys are now walking through really, really dense forest where like the trees are growing very close to each other, but they're clearly pine trees because they have like unleafed branches that just stick out at right angles from the tree.
I don't want to walk through that.
Yeah, just
no, thank you.
Just
why am I doing that?
Just spikes sticking out at you everywhere.
No, thank you.
Well, this is why that wasn't where the lodge told them to go. They said go around the forest because it's a spike forest. So guys are walking there. So then they start talking about how hungry they are and like all the stuff that they're going to eat that when they get to the lodge and what they're going to drink and all this stuff. And then they say Rob liked a doner kebab because they go, Luke, what are you going to
love doner kebabs?
Oh, what is that? I didn't know what it was. I was going to postmortem. I don't know what it is.
Oh, we can still postmortem it. It's those meat on a vertical stick thing that they like shave off.
Shave off. Got it. Okay, yeah, because they were like, Luke, what do you want? And he was like, a kebab. And they were like, doner or shish? And he said, shish, please.
Yeah.
And they were like, Rob liked doner kebabs. Wow, I just learned something. Thanks, Kim.
You got it.
So then they keep walking.
I'm like, sure, I just have all the British facts for you. What else do you want to know? That's how I feel right now. I'm just like, I'm a British expert.
I know. You really are.
You get enough British dick in you, you learn a lot.
You are an actual British scientist now.
I am. Wow. At least I've done something with my slag life.
Yep. So they're now walking through the spike forest, thinking about doner kebabs, when all of a sudden they look up and there is an elk shish kebabbed
No.
on a tree.
Oh, no.
About 30 feet above them. And it is ripped open and gutted.
No. I took such a journey with that. You really...
I saw that journey and I am so sorry because I do think that is the fault of doing this remotely because like the lower half of my face like was telling you not to be happy about this elk, but like there's something lost in translation here, so I apologize.
Okay. Shish kebabs and open. Okay.
Like gutted open.
And you said above us? Like high?
Yeah, like 30 feet above.
Okay. Whew.
Yeah.
God damn it. I'm
So Kim, question number 3.
What
do you do and what do they do?
What do you mean, what do I do?
You're looking at a shish kebabbed elk that has been split open and gutted, hanging in a tree 30 feet above you. So you have to think about what would it take to do this to that animal?
Yeah.
What do you do? What do they do?
I am going to, oh my God, get the fuck out of the forest.
Okay.
I'm still going to turn back. I still think turning back is because I'm assuming in the forest way, turning back is still less time, at least out of the forest, to get to a trail.
Okay. And what do they do?
Oh my God, what do you fucking do?
You know what? I should add a detail. It won't affect your answer, but since you haven't answered what they do, the blood is still dripping.
So basically you're saying it's recent.
Yeah.
I mean, what, like it's higher than like a bear or like anything could, a normal.
Very, very high up.
Human.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God.
I know you're not a bear scientist. That's me. But bears are not 30 feet tall.
You are a bear scientist. I'm just not a height scientist. So
Sure.
I wasn't sure what 30 feet was.
Well, you're 5 feet. So it's six of you standing on top of each other.
Cool.
It's
Yeah,
about it's about 4 couches.
4 what?
No, it's about 3 couches stood up on top of each other.
Okay. What could they possibly do that isn't fucking turn around? Okay. I definitely think they're not going to turn around. I don't believe. They fucking, I don't know. They are gonna, okay. I think they're going to be like, that seems dangerous in some weird way. What the fuck? So maybe prepare any type of weapon situation that they have, but keep going because they want to get through the fucking forest to the fucking lodge. I don't know. Sounded like 17 bells.
Yeah. That is 1.5 bells.
Okay.
You were on the right track for yes, go back. This is a terrible idea. You would have actually gotten a full point if you had just stuck with they just keep walking. I'm with you that I'm like, you now should probably, I don't know, just pick up a large stick, like anything. Just like have something that you would want to throw at a monster's head just for precaution's sake.
Sure.
They don't. They start talking. They're like, what could do this? And one of them Phil says bear. And somebody is like, or no, I think it was Dom was like, bear? And it was like, and Hutch was like, do bears do that? And Dom's like, I don't know. I'm not a bear expert.
It's the conversation we just had.
I know. Except we would have said bear scientist. So one of them is like, it's still bleeding, so we should go because that means whatever did this, is close by. That was Luke. So they keep walking. Cut to nighttime thunderstorm. It's not quite raining yet, but like there's thunder and lightning happening, and it's gonna fucking storm.
Guys.
Yeah.
Come on. Come the fuck on.
The only light is their flashlights.
Great. Fucking great.
Yeah.
This is great.
So we cut to full-blown rainstorm now. But now it's a nighttime rainstorm.
In a nighttime rainstorm.
Dom says, where the hell are we? Like, Dom might be a wuss, but he keeps it real the whole fucking time.
Good for
like,
him.
the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
And so they're arguing over pitching a tent or keep going to make it out of the forest. Like,
right.
Like, that I think is a legitimately tough choice because now you're in the thunderstorm in the forest. It's dark. You only have your flashlights. Something is gutting elk in trees.
Sure.
But we can't see anything. So as they're arguing over this, the light from one of their flashlights falls on a carving of a symbol on a tree.
Oh, God.
Several carvings.
Mm-hmm.
And what was cool was I went, oh, I recognize those. Those are Nordic runes. Let me look and go see what I wrote about them in my witchcraft reference book that I made. And I will be able to tell you what some of the runes mean.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah. So they're looking at these carvings, and then their flashlight falls on something else about maybe 6 couches away. It's a little shack in the middle of the woods.
Okay.
Question number 4. What do you do and what do they do?
I think that they decide to try to stay in the shack overnight or, the rain and darkness.
Okay.
Get out of the rain and darkness. If it's empty, they go look and see what the deal is. That is their goal. I don't want to. I hate these ones. Fucking hate these ones.
Where you're sharked and narked in the forest?
Yeah, and I'm just in snow space, but now I'm in forest space, and I fucking hate it.
I hear you. It's weird how horror movies just keep putting us in scenarios we wouldn't want to be in. And these, like, horrific scenarios. It's weird. What a coinkydink.
I feel like that is maybe what I would do too. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I feel okay.
Oh, it's just one. That was 2 bells.
Oh, yay!
It is what they do. I don't think going into the shack is their downfall. If anything, we're going to get some information. Okay. So if there are any Sammys who saw this movie that have something to say about me giving a point to Kim for going into the shack, fight me, bro. Because I think
fight me too, because I'll take my point.
Yeah. So they kick in the door and they decide to go in for the night. As they go in, they hear a sound. Now, I wrote that it's like screeching or storm because I saw screeching in the closed captioning at the bottom.
See, tell you.
But like the sound should be confusing. They couldn't quite make out what the sound was either.
Right.
So just know that it was a sound we don't really want to hear. Luke then says, did you guys hear that? The others didn't hear anything, and they're like, just get inside, Luke. Like, just get inside. Not that weird that they didn't hear anything. Again, it's like a storm in a forest. Like,
okay.
Luke's like,
okay.
Did you hear that?
Okay.
So, and they walk in, and they go, well, this is clearly the house we get murdered in.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then we see that there are runes hanging from the ceiling.
No.
And it's the same.
No.
Yep, it's the same Nordic runes that were carved on the tree.
And are they like made out of tree branches or like what are they?
Unclear. Clay,
Okay.
tree branch,
Clay.
something.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like somebody made these symbols and hung them from the ceiling.
Why are things like that hanging from the ceiling so scary?
So fucking scary.
It's
Yeah.
a weird thing, right?
I mean, I don't know if it's that I don't know. I want to know, like, what movie, when did they first hang scary shit from the ceiling?
Yeah.
And find out
Postmortem.
what postmortem. How the fuck am I going to postmortem?
I don't
that?
know. I don't think you'll be able to, but I love to make you try.
Yeah. You know what? I'm a fucking do it. Why is shit hanging from the ceiling
So
scary?
fucking scary.
Postmortem, bitch. Okay. So this is when I went and got my handy dandy witchcraft reference book. And it appears that the two symbols I can see, because there's a third one, but it's kind of off screen, appears to stand for elk sedge, which is elk dash sedge. I'm not sure what the sedge refers to. I can postmortem that. And then the other one stands for estate or home.
Okay.
So that's all I'm going to say. They're looking around and they're like, so this place is abandoned, right? Like it looks like nobody has lived there for a long time. Then they also see that there's like a gun rack on the wall. No guns, but they're like, wow, like somebody had a lot of guns at whatever point somebody lived here.
Okay.
And they're kind of talking about like why they're in there. And Hutch, rightfully so, says, I mean, it's the lesser of two evils.
I agree with that. It's, it
which
really
is why I gave you the point. It's like, at least you have we've potentially taken hypothermia off the table.
Right.
So
yeah.
They're talking and Luke says to Hutch, I heard something. And Hutch is like, well, we're not the only animals in the woods, Luke. Like, I don't doubt that you heard something.
Fair.
I don't know what to. What would you like me?
True.
What would you like me to do about the sound you heard in the woods, Luke? What would you like me to do? He doesn't do that. That was me editorializing, but that's what I felt like.
Fair.
So they open up the wood burning stove and they decide to go up to the loft to find things to burn. Now, here's where I almost gave you a question. Because I was about to be like, what do you burn in the wood burning stove? And like, to me, I'm like, don't go up to the creepy loft. But then I realized anything outside is wet. So you can't burn it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Phil decides to go up, but is clearly freaked out. But he says, no, I don't. Nobody needs to come with me. It's fine. Cut to Phil finding a door upstairs. And then there's a crash. It's just them fucking with him because he like jumps and he's like, you guys are assholes.
Okay.
This whole time, Luke is downstairs shining a light out the window and he's looking at something. Okay. Do you know those times, especially at night, where you're like, I'm looking directly at something, but I can't tell if I'm looking at nothing
Yeah.
or if I'm looking at something.
Sure. Yeah, totally.
That's the conversation that Luke is having right now, where he just has the light shining on the exact same place. And he's like, I don't know if I'm seeing something. Dom then, not Dom, sorry. This is where I mixed up their names. Nevill goes into the room upstairs and sees kind of this like wooden basket crib type of thing.
Okay.
Looks burnable, so that's good. And then he's like shining it around, around the room. And then he stops, looks terrified, and says, "Get the fuck up here."
Oh, no way!
They all come upstairs, and we see what he's looking at.
What is it?
It is a man made of sticks? ? It's very dark and storming.
I don't like a man made of sticks.
And he's standing like this. Sorry, again, I have my arms straight up in the air like I'm doing the YMCA,
Like
the Y part.
Okay, a Y, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's standing.
And he's upright.
Okay.
It's so dark, but yes, he's upright, propped up, and it is the statue has no head, and rather than hands, it has antlers.
No.
It is a bummer looking thing.
I don't
I
like that.
am frightened of it for sure.
Okay.
So, I also put a pin in this. So if we could try to put a pin in this, because I have something that is interesting about this statue that you don't know until the end. So they look at it and Dom is like, "That's straight up witchcraft." And they're all like, "This is super fucked up." And all but Luke are like, "Fuck this." And they go back downstairs and they go and like light a fire. Luke just kind of like keeps looking at it like really, stressed about this.
Sure.
Downstairs, they're all downstairs now. And they're trying to figure out what it could be upstairs. So they're talking about, the Nordic people worshipped Odin. And Luke is like they're just kind of like, "What is it?" Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Sure,
Luke,
sure, sure.
and Luke is like, "We should go back out the way we came." So he's like, "Tomorrow,
Yes, Luke.
we need to go. Yeah, we need to go back out the way we came." Hutch then says, "We're not willfully adding a day to our journey. We only have enough supplies for this amount of journey. We need to not panic." Or no, he says, "We have supplies. We need to just not panic." Kim, question number 5.
What
do you choose and what did they choose?
I
And
choose
here's
to
the
go
thing.
back. What?
Okay.
Tell me.
Well,
the
I was going to say this was the point where it's not a clear answer to me, because obviously go back, but then Hutch is like, "But we're adding a day to our journey." That's a whole day where Dom's knee is whatever the fuck, and we're not at the lodge with people. That wasn't meant to dissuade you. That was just like a thought that I had.
I'm still going with my original thought process of going back, where like back feels like a city to me versus now a lodge that yes has people but like still in the middle of the woods kind of thing.
Okay.
I'm assuming. I don't really know the deal.
And that's fine.
Also back
exactly.
is like it's like, what's it called? The enemy you know versus the enemy you don't kind of thing.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
saying?
The devil you know
devil.
versus
Yes.
yeah. One could argue
The devil is my
also
enemy.
you. Yeah. So I think it still plays. What do they choose?
Yeah, because I feel like I'm going back through an area that I know towards a fucking path that I know towards a land that I know versus
Yes.
forward is the unknown. And when you're in fucking snow space, shark to narc, fucking tree land, forest, fucking flight from.
Yep. I hear ya. You want to know
Forest
what snow space you're in.
fever dream situation. Yeah, I'm going back. They're going forward. Done. Final answer. Santa. I know him.
They go forward. At this point, right as they're going to sleep, one of them is like, I can't tell, it's dark. One of them is like, I'll give you $1,000 to sleep with that thing upstairs. And they're all like,
nope.
Nobody fucking nope. So I was like, at least they made that choice correctly. Cut to soft knocking, growling. What is that sound outside? I can't identify it. That makes me uncomfortable sound.
Mm-hmm.
Inside, we now cut to Luke's sleeping face and a bright, shining beam of light coming through the window directly onto him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this looks like a very man-made, unnatural light, but it is so bright that Luke has to get up and go see what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets up to look, and he like whispers to wake up Hutch. Hutch doesn't wake up. So he opens the door, and it is the door to the liquor store where Rob died.
What?
He opens the door to the cabin, and the other side of the door is the liquor store where Rob died.
What's happening?
He goes and he grabs the same bottle of vodka that he grabbed that night and looks at the door, and then there's blood on the bottle, and then all the shelves disappear, and he's standing in the woods, completely unaware of how he got out there.
Oh, no.
And he looks down at his shirt, and 3 little pools of blood are pooling on his chest. And he lifts up his shirt, and it's as if there's like a wound that he doesn't know how it got there is on his chest.
No.
So not like a deep stabby wound. It's like a surface wound, but one that's bleeding a lot.
Okay.
Like, it's not like he's like,
Yeah.
He then snaps out of it because he hears Hutch screaming. He goes back into the cabin. Hutch is screaming, kind of like half awake, asleep, and finally comes to, and we see that Hutch has completely pissed himself.
Okay.
He then sees Dom in the corner, who now also starts screaming.
No.
His eyes are open, but he's clearly not awake. And his knee is like really red and swollen, where I was like, ooh, he not faking. Like, that's not good. When you have an internal injury that's turning your external red and purple, there is some bad stuff happening in there. And he's also like eyes open but asleep, screaming, Gail! Gail! Screaming at the top of his lungs.
Do we know who Gail is?
Not yet.
Okay. That's
they say-
terrifying. Anyone open-eyed screaming but asleep is the most terrifying thing.
The most terrifying. I told you the most inconsiderate thing about Eric is that when he passes out, he keeps his fucking eyes open.
No. That's
So he passed out one time,
terrifying.
and he came to with me furious at him. And he was like, this doesn't seem fair.
Open-eyed asleep is not
Terrifying.
okay.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
okay.
Rude, honestly.
Rude. Flat out rude. How dare you?
They all kind of come to, and they realize Phil is not in the room. So they go upstairs. Phil is naked, bleeding, kneeling in front of the statue.
No.
He can't like put his hands down. And he's kind of awake, not really awake, and finally is just like, what is this? Cut to them getting dressed, shoving all their shit into their bags.
Sure, yeah.
They get out immediately. They walk outside, and there's a bunch of like trees downed that like look like they've been pushed over or ripped up by something large.
I don't want to be here.
There are also a ton of symbols carved on all the trees surrounding
Nope.
the cabin now.
Nope.
I was able to identify 4 Nordic rune symbols. We see elk sedge again.
Mm-hmm.
We see estate again. We see birch, and we see mouth. That is what we have seen.
Mm.
Dom is like, well, fuck. And he's like, it's a warning. We shouldn't be here. What does that sound?
Sorry, that was my nervous clicking of my fingers on the screen. Sorry.
Oh. Can you please not make creepy clicking noises while I'm telling you a creepy fucking story?
I apologize. I'm feeling very, very, very sharked and narked.
Yeah.
That was when we were in the forest. Do we have a thing then?
What
What do we say?
I don't know.
Or were we just sharked and narked everywhere? What was
I think we just-
Space? We were...
Snow Space was the thing.
No, but we were... There was another saying. We were like, I'm,
Stir-fried.
Stir-fried.
Yeah. Crazy fried. Stir-fried. Whatever. Yeah. Stir-fried. Yeah.
Stir-crazy, stir-fried. That's different, yeah, because we're not really stir-crazy. Oh, gosh. I don't like the forest.
Oh, yeah. So Dom is like, we should not be here. And Luke is like,
shouldn't.
we have to go back the way we came.
I'm still with Luke for that.
Dom then says, there's a path right there. I see a path. Path means people. Hutch then says, that path isn't southwest. So, like, he clearly is the one who, like, has the map and knows we have to keep going southwest.
Yeah, he's the compass scientist. I understand.
Yes. So Luke says we have to go back. Hutch says southwest, which both directions would be southwest. And Dom says path. Path means people. People make paths. What do you do? What do they do?
I don't ever go on a camping trip ever. Okay. So Hutch and Luke saying the same thing, or Hutch is like go forward, and Luke says go back.
Hutch has not come down on his side by saying the path isn't southwest. He's just saying whether we go forward or back, we have to go southwest or north. Like, we have to stay on this one cardinal direction.
That still feels unclear, but okay. I was just trying to figure out if he was like in agreement with one of them.
He is, I guess what I would say is Hutch is no path and Dom is pro path.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back.
Okay.
I still feel go back.
Okay.
For all the reasons I've already said. The trees you know versus the trees you don't.
Exactly.
I don't think they're going back. I think they're gonna, fuck. Okay, they're either doing whatever the fuck Hutch wants or Dom. I'm taking Luke out.
Okay.
Maybe they go path because Dom is hurt. I don't know. I'll just try it.
That was an ominous church bell because things are ominous and you get 2 of them.
Yay!
So you got 2 points because Dom is like, I'm sick of this off-road shit. Path means civilization, and he just starts walking. So he doesn't wait for a decision. He just starts walking.
Okay.
And
Is
they
it
all
daytime
follow.
now or like when are we?
It's daytime.
Okay.
So they all
And
follow
is it
him. They
not raining anymore?
not raining anymore.
Okay.
And they take the path. Cut to them walking. Phil is like, are we gonna talk about what happened in the cabin?
Sure.
Like, are we gonna talk about me praying naked to a terrifying stick man? Are we gonna talk about Dom screaming his wife's name? That's where we learn what Gale is.
Okay.
And Hutch is like, we all had nightmares. What's the problem? That's it. And Luke is like,
boys.
Luke is like, you were shouting Gail's name. And Phil is like, I was praying naked in front of that thing. Hutch then turns around and is like, I don't want to talk about how I woke up covered in piss. I don't want to have a conversation about it. It's fucking embarrassing. And we have bigger issues than talking about our ghost stories. And I was like,
what did we learn last episode?
Talk about your ghosts.
Let's talk about ghosts, baby.
Let's talk about you and me. Okay. Hutch is like talking to Luke, and he's like, we're on this path, but like we're tracking along southwest. Like I'm watching this light up above that like tells me that we're tracking southwest.
Great.
But 5 more minutes on this path, if we don't see something, I'm pulling rank. And Dom is like, looks down at the ground, and there are these like little stump-like canisters kind of that are in the ground. And he's like, see, those were put there by humans. It means we're close.
Were they?
Like, and basically what they are is like, if you were to light a path, you would like put little fires in each of these things.
A path to your death.
Yep.
Right.
A fiery path to your death. So they're like, we're getting somewhere. They then come upon another shack. They decide not to have a look in this one, but it does say like humans are here or we're here or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
Keep walking. Dom is leading the way, but like he's hobbling very badly. And he's like, you know what? I need a minute. My knee is killing me. And Phil is like, and I have the wrong shoes on. These shoes are killing me. None of them believe that he's in that much pain. And they're like, we can't go at this pace, Dom. Like, regardless of whether you're hurt, like, we can't go at this pace. And Luke is like, you know what? I'm going to go to the top of that ridge where there's that sort of light so that I can look out. Basically, it looks like where that light is a ridge of the mountain, which means if you went up to the top of it, you could look out over an expansive amount of area to sort of see where you're supposed to be going, right?
Okay.
As opposed to they're in the forest right now, so they look around and it's just forest.
They're like inside under an umbrella.
Right.
Okay.
So he goes up to the top. He takes his backpack off and runs up the hill, and he comes to where the light is. It is not a ridge. It is just a clearing. So the light that he's seeing is just there's slightly less trees here. So he still can't see anything. It's still just all woods, no civilization. And he goes a little further in, and that's when he realizes the light I was seeing was not the top of anything. It was just a clearing. And he's like, fuck. Then he hears a low growling in the trees.
No.
And I just wrote, something huge is walking through the trees, but also, is it a tree? You can't tell what it is. So he runs back down the hill, and he's like, something is up there. And he shows them at this point, he's like, this is what happened to me last night. And he shows them what's on his chest.
Okay.
And he's like, all those noises I've been hearing, and something is fucking up there, and like, we're in big trouble, and here are these wounds on my chest. Shit is real. Dom is like, you did that to yourself. And he's like, and Luke is like, why do you have to just not believe anything I say? And Dom turns to him and says, because I do not trust your judgment. And Luke says,
Oof.
we wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for you. Meaning it was whatever. It was his idea to do the memorial or something. I don't know. And Dom turns to him and says, no, We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
Oh, God.
Hutch tells Dom to shut up. And Luke is like, what did he mean by that? Luke pushes Dom. And Dom says, now he's got some fucking fight in him. Where was that with Rob?
Oh, boy. Oh, God.
Luke then walks up to Dom, gets right in his face and says, you're not my fucking friend anymore. Dom looks him in the face and says, not a drop of blood on you. Luke then winds up and punches Dom in the nose. And he's like, oh, you broke my nose. And Hutch is like, this has to stop. We have to work together. Luke storms off. Hutch goes after him. And Luke says, you think I should have stood up? And Hutch just says, I don't know, man. And Luke storms off again.
Oh, my God. It was too much.
I know.
I already have tree
But
fever, and now I'm getting feeling fever.
It really proves our argument, though, that, like, staying alive
physically
to save only yourself may not give you may not survive emotionally.
Right.
So I just thought that was, like, a really interesting, since we talk about that all the time, it's like, oh, we were right.
Shit.
So cut to them walking together, but all really far apart. So they're walking in like a single file line. And they come to a very lush part of the woods. It looks like maybe there's a spring underneath the ground because everything is just very green, very moist, very luscious. Ew, I just said a word I hate. Oh, God. So, and they see that some trees have been downed like they were before, where it just looks like they've been pushed over, something like that. And they look. Stop it.
Sorry, go on.
Stop it. I'm the one who tells the scary story.
I'm sorry.
So they look a little bit closer, and it appears that on the ground is some moss-covered fabric of some kind. But, like, clearly it's been there for a long time because, like, it's very grown over. So they pull it up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's a tent.
Oh,
and there's a family photo in it.
Oh, no.
And a shoe.
No.
And a wallet with an ID in it.
Oh, no.
That says Anna Erickson, expired 1984.
Oh, my fucking, what the fuck?
So this was well over 40 years ago.
Okay.
And they write, I wrote, this is a bad sign. They did not write any such thing. They just said it. So Hutch is like, fair. We're not going to be those people because we registered in the, we registered.
Sure, yeah.
And in 5 hours, they're
right.
going to report us as missing.
Right.
So, and he's like, this is how people get found. Like, we're on a path, and, like, the path we were supposed to be on is
not the correct path, but
I don't know. Yeah.
Whatever.
And then they look around and they're like, it's getting dark again. Because remember, we're in fucking Sweden and/or Norway, and it gets fucking dark.
Why?
There's like
why didn't we go during all
sunlight.
the sun time though?
I don't know.
I don't know. We could have gone during all sun time.
Maybe this was the only. I don't know, Kim.
Instead of more nighttime.
So I think that there is, there is some daytime,
sure,
but it's definitely
Yeah, but there's a time where it could have been mostly daytime.
Right. So now we cut to the full moon.
Okay.
They're sitting around a fire. Dom's knee looks bad. It looks real bad. Hutch goes over and talks to Luke by a tree, and he's like, Dom's knee is looking worse. Phil is also not looking great. And you're the strongest. You should get out and get help. I'll stay with them. And he says, I'll give you my compass. Just keep heading southwest.
Hutch is telling Luke to go.
Yes.
Okay.
Then Hutch goes over to Dom to look at his knee, and we kind of hear him like trying to help him with his knee. So I guess he's staying with Dom and Phil because it appears he has like the most knowledge of survival, and Luke is the strongest to get out. So Luke, still standing by his tree smoking, here's
Classic Luke.
Classic Luke. Here's branches breaking? Question mark. Cut to Luke checking supplies. And he's like, how much water do I have? Not enough. And he's in his tent when he hears something walking outside of his tent.
No.
Now, do you remember when I said these sound like human footsteps?
Right.
These don't. They sound big. They sound like if one's feet were the size of a human, what it might sound like. Then he hears a low roar, question mark. He unzips the tent to look. Lights up. It's the scene from the liquor store again.
What?
But like it's as if the
tree alien is this?
Yeah, and it's as if the like store is built like into the trees, because like directly on other side is the trees, and there might be a leaf that falls like in onto the floor of the liquor store. Like it's all
weird.
So he's looking, and the dude who hit Rob looks up after having hit Rob, and his eyes are glowing, and he says, "Coward."
Oh, God.
Then something comes through the trees. Luke jumps back into his tent. A shadow of something outside. One of the tents is literally like pulled away. Luke then wakes up to someone screaming. He goes out of the tent. Phil is screaming in the center of the camp, hunched over, and he's like, "It was here!" Luke goes over to a tent that has been demolished, and Hutch is gone. And Phil is like, "It took him! It took him!" All that's left in his tent is just like a bloody map. That's it. Kim, dead of night, what do you do? What do they do?
I hate this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I hate this so much.
We haven't even gotten to the most fucked up part.
Oh my God. I think that we need to get the fuck out of the forest.
Okay.
As quickly as possible.
Okay.
However that is.
What about Hutch?
We have to go get help.
Okay.
I don't know where Hutch is.
Okay. What do you... Okay. So do you go right then? Do you...
Okay. I guess I want to know when Phil was like, it took him. What does that mean? What is Phil talking about?
Okay.
What took him?
Okay.
Because I think that could maybe help inform my decision based on what it is.
Okay.
Is it a clown? Is it a monster?
Is it a Kraken?
Is it a Krakaren?
A Krakaren.
Krakaren.
Kim, that was your joke. You got to pronounce it right. It was yours.
I know. I just wanted to go straight Karen, though.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I guess it was hilarious. Good job.
Yeah, it was
Self high
funny.
five. I'll see myself out.
So just stay inside.
Okay. I'm gonna get information from Philip about what the fuck he's talking about, and I'm gonna use that to inform, because like if it's a thing that's like the size of what these footsteps sound like, or the height of where you put an elk up 6 couches above me thing.
Yep.
We need to get out of the fucking forest. We can't fight that. What am I going to do? If I can fucking go find it and fight it for fucking... What the fuck are you talking about? No.
And what is it? What are we fighting?
Yeah. So probably get out of the forest, but we're going to learn. We need to figure out what the fuck he's talking about first, and that will inform my decision further. What do they do? Is that... What do we do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do they go try to find Hutch?
That was 2 bells, bitch.
Oh, fuck yes.
I liked your answer of get more information because to me, you're in a lose-lose. Like there could be an argument made for staying put until daylight. There could be an argument made for packing all your shit up and trying to get out of the forest now. Like getting more information, asking some questions is why I gave you a point for that. What they do, Luke, like no shoes on, just a flashlight, just runs into the woods.
Great. I mean, he has survivor's guilt, so he's got to help Hutch, obviously.
Yeah. So, Phil is... they took him. They wake up Dom first, who looks really bad. Then they hear screaming and growling, and then they run into the woods after Hutch. Dom is behind Luke, and he's like, you can't just run into the woods. Like, we could be running in circles and not even know it, and we'll get lost. Like, you can't do that. This is like...
This is true.
Your directionability in the forest at night doesn't work well. That's why people have compasses.
Yep.
So he's like, we can't lose the tents. We have to stop, go back, retrace our steps. We're of no help to Hutch right now.
Correct.
Cut to them sitting in the woods. No Hutch, no tents. They lost the tents.
No!
So now all they each have is a flashlight apiece. And I wrote sort of dayish time, but the light is strange, so I'm not totally sure.
It's like pre-day.
Or post-day, unclear.
Great. Who knows?
Like, because how long have they been looking for the tents? We don't know. So they come upon a downed tree that looked like it had been ripped through.
But all 3 of them are together.
Yes. And they look up and see Hutch.
No.
In a tree.
No.
Strung up like the elk.
No.
Cut to Hutch's body now on the ground. They somehow got it down. And they're taking whatever supplies he has on him off of him, for survival. And they're now arguing about, like, burying him or going. And Dom is like, we can't just leave him here. So, like, they cover him over with a bunch of sticks, sort of as a compromise. And Phil is, like, losing it now. Remember, Phil is the one who was like, why am I praying to this terrifying statue?
Yeah.
And Phil is like, it wanted us to find him. Dom is trying to keep it together. Like, Dom is trying to cover the body and is telling Phil to keep it together. Dom wants to say something over Hutch's body, and Luke is like, we have to go or it'll come back.
Right.
So they're talking now, and they're like, it was at that house. We had those nightmares, and it followed us, says Phil. And Luke is like, I saw it, and it was big. And he's like, I mean, it had to be to put that elk in the tree. Dom is like, it was those fucking pagan hillbillies, which we've never seen. Like, he has no idea. We've never seen a human.
Always blame the pagan hillbillies.
Right? I mean, scapegoat much.
What a fucking Chad.
Yeah. So Luke is like, no one has lived in that fucking cabin you're talking about forever. Like, it was clearly abandoned. So Dom is just like apoplectic, and he's like, there are houses, there are people in this fucking forest. Like, there are people here and they're fucking with us. Luke is like, keep your fucking voice down. And then we see a bird's eye view of the forest that just stretches forever and ever and ever and then into the clouds.
Mm-hmm. Sure, of course. Right. Great.
Cut to them.
Great. Cool.
Coming across a little stream. Stream
is the word I believe you're looking for.
And they drink from it. Then they see footprints in the mud.
What kind of footprints?
What? They don't look like humans. They look like human footprints.
They do look like human footprints.
Yes.
Okay.
What do you do? What do they do?
I don't want to be here. I hate this sink trip.
I know this is worse than our Seattle trip for sure.
I thought that was rough too. This is worse than trying to enter a prison pool. This is worse than
kind of makes you think. Really makes you think.
We should be more grateful people.
Yeah, we should. Because we're not in a forest with a tree monster that we can't see.
So we drank from the water and we see footprints in the mud?
Yep.
I mean, I guess they don't know what the fuck's going on. So, like, follow the footsteps?
Is that you or them?
I think it's them.
Okay.
And I'm gonna
make a decision.
How do I get out of here?
We're in stir-fried forest snow space.
I'm gonna get out of the forest. How do I get out of the forest?
That's my question.
I'm gonna don't I have the fucking compass?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep going the compass way that we know to go to get out of the fucking forest.
That was 2 dinglings.
I can't even be happy for my double dings because I'm so fucking tree fevered.
I'm so sorry. That was just 1 ding.
My apologies. Great! Now you're making a full 2 dings. It's great.
This
This
is what happens karmically when you're not grateful for your double dings.
It's great. It's fucking great. How could this get any worse? Cool.
Oh, would you like to know?
No.
I'll continue. So then they see the footprints.
Was the ding for me or them?
The ding was for you.
Okay. Thank you.
They don't follow. But Dom is like, I told you there were people. So that's sort of the information where they're like, Dom has been saying there's people the whole time, and he thinks it's the people that are fucking with us. So they're like, we should not go that way. And they continue southwest.
Good. Great. Okay.
Yeah. Then we see something through the trees. Something made of trees? Trees? Tree creature? What is that? What am I looking at? But it's real big. They don't see it, but I saw it.
No.
So now they're walking up a hill. Phil slides down. Like he just loses his footing and slides down.
Oh my God.
Because he's got very expensive, very not broken in shoes. Luke goes to help him back up. And it like spooks him. Like Phil is like so in his head that it doesn't even occur to him that like Luke would be coming to like help him up. Phil is like, it made me pray to that thing in the house. And he's like, I just can't get it out of my head. Mm-hmm. Dom can barely walk now, nor can Phil. And Luke sees a little bit of light. So he goes up further because the other 2 are having trouble getting up there. And he's like, I can see the end. I see it. Like he got to the top. And he's like, Hutch was right. Southwest. We had to go southwest this whole time. Then he sees like this tiny little light in the distance, like a little like pinprick of light.
Mm-hmm.
And he calls for them. Neither of them answer. So he goes back down and they both have their flashlights looking around for something. And all of a sudden it's very dark. Like it got dark like so fucking fast, which I guess maybe it can. And Phil is like, we heard something. And they have their flashlights lit, carried off by a creature.
What? Who? Phil?
Phil. Just carried off, just gone. But again, what carried him off? We can't see it. Luke runs, and he runs straight into a tree and falls backwards. Okay? Yeah. Then we hear...
I'll save you.
I mean, honestly, that tree saved him because otherwise he would have just run off again.
It's true. This is true.
And Dom already told him, you can't just be running off.
Right.
So then we hear low growling sound.
Great.
Luke gets up from being knocked out by the tree. And he's in the liquor store woods again.
I'm so tired. Okay.
So he goes through what would be the front door out into the street of the liquor house if it was real.
Okay. The house of liquor, yes.
The house, I know I said the liquor house. And he sees Dom, Phil, and Hutch standing on the street, much like they were that night in their, snazzy London coats. And Phil just shines a light on him. So it's like, is it real? Is it not?
Right.
Shines a light on him. And then just Phil's light drops to the ground. He picks it up and calls for them, and the liquor store is gone now. So we see that the light he saw was just like Phil's light having been dropped in real life kind of thing.
Yeah.
He picks it up and calls for them. He hears a low, loud growl, branches breaking. Some huge thing we can't see is clearly like kind of surrounding us, but we can't see what it is. Then the light falls on Dom. Dom is hiding behind a log, and he's like, shh, 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 shh. And he tells him that it took Phil. And he's like, it's fast, and it's hunting us. So Luke is now ducked behind the little log with Dom.
Yep, great.
Dom is like, I don't want to die alone.
Oh.
And Luke is like, I am not going to leave you. And Dom is like, do you think it's going to come back? And Luke is like, yes, but I think I found a way out. Because remember, he went up to the top and he saw that there was an end to the forest.
Yeah.
And he says, can you move your leg? And Dom says, a little. And Luke says, I'm afraid we're going to have to run. And Dom says, I know. And then a branch breaks. And they go, okay, let's go on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, a beat, and then they run. They're running-ish, because I don't believe that Luke has shoes on, and Dom's knee is soup.
Great. Cool.
And
fantastic.
Something is behind them / all around them, running through the trees.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They stop, and they are surrounded by a thing they can't see. Giant something through the trees. We can see that it's moving because we see branches moving, but we can't quite see it.
Mm-hmm.
They come to a path of those little torches that were in the ground, but now they're all lit.
Okay.
With fire.
I'm concerned.
So they kind of are like holding each other up. They come to the lit path of torches and start going down it. And then they look up. Phil is hung from a tree.
Phil?
Hung from a tree. So they're running now past Phil's body through a lit path, screaming for help.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a house at the end of the path. They go in. They slam the door.
Okay.
It's all lit up, but we hear some weird ancient chanting.
Yeah, I don't feel good about that house.
playing on a record player.
Of course it is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that a man standing in the living room, standing there? Knocked out. Wake up, tied to the wall of a cabin room in a shack. Mm-hmm. Both of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We heard growl chanting. We hear growl chanting outside.
Sure.
Luke, if you can imagine, so both Luke and Dom tied with rope, hands behind their back, but then also the rope is tied to a structure in the cabin. So like they also can't move forward or anything like that.
Okay.
Luke takes his like nose kind of and like pushes some dirt out of the slats because this is a very rudimentary shack. So it's literally like, you know, boards that are stacked on top of each other and like it's not airtight by any means. So he kind of like pushes a little bit of dirt out so he can kind of like look through the slat of the wall of the cabin. And he sees people building something outside. And they don't look like modern day people at all. Dom, who's sitting
like
at like
pagan hillbillies.
They look like pagan hillbillies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So Dom then sees that there's a glass bottle of some kind on the table nearest to Luke. What does Dom tell Luke to do, and what do you do?
I would like to try to break the glass bottle to get a piece of glass. Thank you. My brain is stir-fried. And then cut the ropes with the glass, hand in hand.
Two bells.
Great. Cool.
That was a great idea. Honestly,
Yeah.
Great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't work.
Great. Cool. Of course that doesn't work. I mean, why would it work? Nothing's worked so far on this entire fucking trip.
Right?
Stopped it working.
Nope, it's not. So he asked Luke,
this trip.
can you reach it to break it and cut the ropes? Right at that moment, before Luke can even try to reach it, boom, door slams open, two men walk in, and then this teeny tiny little old woman walks in.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks like a little fairy person because she just looks like a small person. And
Sure.
she's chewing something. It was a really interesting character choice. She's like the oldest lady you've ever seen, and she's like a little pixie person, but she's just like, as she looks at him, just like chewing, like she's chewing gum, but it's probably like a root of some kind,
It
a
is.
licorice root, perhaps.
Sure.
And she walks over to Luke, and she's just kind of examining him. She offers him some water from a carafe, and he drinks it, like has to, like he's so thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
Then she pulls up his shirt and sees the symbol that's been carved on his chest.
Mm-hmm.
They then say something to each other, the two guys behind her, but like in an ancient language, and she says something as well. And she shows him that she has the same marking on her chest.
Hopefully that's a good thing. Twinsies.
Cool. Can't kill your twin.
Right?
So then she just gets up and walks out of the room. And Luke is like, no, Dom, you got to give Dom some water.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't. He leaves. Or she leaves. The two guys then, instead of giving Dom water, they grab Dom and they drag him out of the room. And Luke hears him screaming, and there's growl chanting, and things are not going the way
Great.
you wanted things to
Great.
go on your lad's holiday.
No, they're not. This is not my lad's holiday. This is not it.
This is a hellscape, a stir-fried snow space, narked and sharked forest hellscape.
That's what it is. Thank you.
Then a young woman comes in and gives Luke some food. We're not clear about how much time has passed since Dom left.
Okay.
Time has ceased to exist, much like it has in our actual lives.
I feel that.
And she's able to speak English, and she says, they prepare for sacrifice. Over soon. And she holds his ears to protect him from hearing the screams. Like, she seems kind. Abrupt cut to Luke waking up. Men have dragged Dom back in. He's not dead.
Okay.
Just severely tortured.
Great.
And Luke goes, you okay?
Oh, no.
And Dom says, can barely talk. And he's like, I never told you about my nightmare. I saw these people offering me to that thing with dead hands gripping me. And I saw Gail. I saw my wife. I'm gonna die here, Luke. And Luke is like, nope, you're absolutely not. I'm not gonna let it happen. Because imagine for Luke, he's like,
No, Luke. Yeah.
so I'm gonna be the survivor fucking again.
Yeah,
I already have
like,
survivor's
I have
guilt.
to save you. Yeah. Yep.
And so he's like, nope. And Dom is like, you have to get out of here. Burn this place to the ground behind you. Don't stop. Keep going. Live. Tell my wife I tried to get back to her. It's a rough one. Tell Kim I tried to get back to her.
No.
Aren't you married? She'll tell Eric.
She is my wife.
So Luke is still just like, nope, in total denial. Cut to outside. Nighttime again, lit by fire, torches, all that kind of stuff. Dom is being carried by people. Luke is watching through the slats, still tied up, trying to get free, I think, but very dark. Cut to Dom tied to a post, chanting, full moon behind clouds.
Great.
Cut back to Luke trying to get out of these rope ties. Cut to Dom being tied to a post. So it's just going back and forth.
Yep.
Dark fire lit now. Dom is on the stake and he's just like, you fucking pricks, let's do this. Like, he's just like, if this is what's going to happen to me, I'm going to go out like a fucking asshole.
Right.
Luke is now trying to like rip his hands out of the rope.
Yep.
Which seems like a real owie.
Owies.
It's
ruining my hand modeling career.
Words out of my mouth. Words out of my mouth. That was unbelievable. Our brains are the same, even in quarantine. So Dom now hears a creature roaring in the distance.
A creature roaring in the distance. Great.
And all of the village people like lay down on the ground. All of the village people. YMCA. That's what those symbols were. Remember, I did a Y from YMCA. So they all like get down on the ground, like bowing to him, completely laying on the ground. Cut to Luke being like, okay, I can do this. And we hear crack.
He's breaking his thumb, basically.
Breaking his thumb.
Yeah.
How does that help? I couldn't figure that out.
Because I think then, like, it takes away the bone part there, so it's just a dangly bit.
So are you breaking it in, kind of?
I think
like
so.
That?
Yeah.
Okay. I have these strange. I feel like I could get out of rope ties really easily because I have these strange, deformed arms where my forearm just goes into my wrist and into my fist, and it's all the same width. So I feel like if I can get if they're tied around my fist, my fist is the same.
Yeah.
Wait, look at this.
I actually
look. Isn't that weird?
That is weird. It's like your wrist isn't any different size.
No. Do you know what it looks like? It looks like I've been amputated. It looks like my hand. It looks like my hand was amputated. Here, you could take a picture.
Okay, hold on.
Take a picture. It's really fucking weird. My brother used to make fun of me for this all the time. It's so fucking weird.
I also feel like I can get out of those things pretty well because I have just teeny tiny little hands. Like they're just model hands, so they're very long and thin.
But you also have very, very thin wrists, and so your wrists are proportionately small to your delicate hands.
But I can often squeeze things. Like, they don't look the way that yours do because they're beautiful.
Right,
but
and model hands. I'm not even insulted.
In size, though, it's almost the exact if you squeeze fingers around it.
Okay.
Like, they don't get bigger ever.
Let's tie each other up and see if we can escape.
Okay, deal.
I think that would be really fun.
That actually
Next
would
time
be
we're
really
together, we're going to tie each other up and see if we can escape.
Plans for after quarantine. I can't
Woohoo!
wait. Tie each other up. Great.
Yeah.
Because also, I've like squeezed a lot of bracelets and stuff off that way. I got to go to Coachella for free once because of that. Because someone took their bracelet off and I could squeeze it on my little tiny hand.
Wow. So my amputee hand and your model hand. Wow.
Great survival.
It really is. You got to know your strengths, everybody. Learn your strengths. What weird thing about your body is going to be the thing that saves you? Everybody learn it. Okay, so cut to Dom. So he breaks his thumb. And he gets one of his hands out. One of them is still tied.
Good job.
And he's still tied to the wall.
Okay.
Cut to Dom hearing the creature. Cut to Luke now trying to eat through the ropes. Cut to someone coming out of the woods towards Dom. It's a person. Who is it?
Is it Rob?
It's Gail.
Gail!
His wife.
Oh, Jesus.
She walks right up to him and holds his face.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
That's not Gail. You know what?
It's
That's
not Gail.
That's not Gail.
I'm going to try to explain this to you.
It's not Gail.
It is the creature, but we're only seeing... We're like too close up, so we can't tell. But we see that it's holding his face with things that are maybe could be characterized as hands, and then just a hollowness where one would think a face would be, and two tiny little beady lights that are eyes. Maybe this is what, and it's black, and this is what we're seeing.
Okay.
I wrote, not Gail. It's an elk branch face thing holding his face in branch hands.
Great.
And it drags him off. Luke is still trying to get out of the cabin, and he sees him dragged off through the slats. Cut back to the creature carrying Dom by the face, and he just hangs him on a tree like a little sparkly Christmas ornament, just decorating the trees with bodies. Oh, this one can go right here. Ploop. He just ploops him right on there.
I don't want to go on a camping trip, but I don't want to do the hiking trip.
Nope.
I just wanted to drink beer.
When in doubt, go to Ibiza.
Ibiza.
So, cut back to Luke in the cabin. He's got one hand free.
Time we were going to go to Belgium.
Yeah. And you poo-pooed all that Belgian beer. Bet that beer would taste real good to you right now, bitches.
That's a good idea.
So the other one is still tied to the wall.
Yeah.
The woman comes back in, the young woman, and she leaves him a little bit more water and food, but doesn't alert the authorities, the village people, that he's untied part of himself.
But she sees it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he just says, "Did you take him down from the tree?" And she says, "We don't move the bodies." And he says, "What is it?" And she says, "A god, ancient, one of the Uton, a bastard offspring of Loki. We do not say its name."
He who shall not be named?
Voldemort. You got it! The end of this movie is Voldemort. And he says, "Because you're afraid of it?" And she says, "We worship it. It keeps us here. No more pain, no more death. Your ritual begins tonight. You will kneel before the god, or it will hang you from the tree." And he says, "Why me?" And she says, Your pain is great. You will kneel before it like the rest of us.
Oh, so they're asking him to join the village people.
Yes, because his pain is so great. Cut to him getting out of the rope. He's finally gotten out of the rope and gotten the rope off of the wall. And he's going into the rest of the cabin. So the woman is left. We've jumped time. He's going into the rest of the cabin, and there's growl chanting outside. There's torches in all the corners of the rooms for light. And Luke is moving very slowly. Oops! Little old lady coming in. And she's like blocking his path. Luke goes up the stairs again so that she doesn't see him. Like he like scooted away before she could see him. And he grabs a torch. He's now listening at one of the doors, and he goes into that room because he hears that nobody's in there. And it is a room of bodies, ? Stick men, ? Decomposed corpses, ? Then we kind of zoom in a little bit more. Yup, it's very, very decomposed corpses.
Oh, no.
And one of them starts breathing.
Oh, no.
So, Kim,
What?
what are you doing? What does Luke do?
What do you mean? All right, I think that he,
You're still very much a match for them. They're dead. They're whether they're breathing or not, I don't know how well they walk on their decomposed femurs. Like they're not like in their prime. You could beat them in a bar fight.
Great.
You would just punch through dust.
I'd use my favorite stab of all time, which is breaking a bottle and stabbing.
Oh, I thought you were going to say forever. Your favorite stab is forever.
Forever. Ha!
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true, too. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. I am a little confused about.
So you've grabbed a torch and you've ducked into a room
because
where you
people are outside of the room.
Yeah, because that little old lady came into the cabin, and you're trying to avoid her seeing you.
Right. Am I on a first floor, second floor? Is there a window?
You have gone upstairs to a second floor, and she is on the bottom floor. Honestly, it's as if you're in the same cabin that you were in before. Like, the layout of it is almost exactly the same.
Okay. I don't know if this is a good idea.
I can't wait.
I'm gonna start lighting things on fire. I'm gonna light all of these things on fire, and anyone that comes near me, I'm gonna light on fire.
Okay.
I'm gonna
and what is?
Because you know what? This is a tree monster. Everything's trees. Everything's wood. I'm gonna grab another fucking torch. I'm gonna be motherfucking Edward Torch Hands, and
you're gonna double torch it.
Everything, everybody, this whole place.
I love
Goodbye.
Edward
Everything.
Torch
I'm
Edward
torching
Torch Hands.
anything that I can.
Now, Edward Torch Hands, does he have to put his torches out to sleep and then relight them every day?
Probably, I mean, it's probably safety's best for him.
Or is he like immune to fire? Oh, but even if he's immune to fire, it doesn't mean that his bed sheets are immune to fire.
Is on fire.
Yeah. So it's probably a put out relight every day.
Seems like the best idea for him, but
Sure.
I'll feel it out. I'll ask him. I'll see how it goes.
Guys, don't steal Kim and my idea. We're writing Edward Torch Hands as a sequel to Edward Scissorhands, which will then be followed by Edward Shark Hands.
I thought you were going to say Edward 40 Hands.
Oh, that's a good one.
Just us being drunk. Okay. What am I doing? I'm lighting everything on fire, and I'm getting the fuck out of
Luke
here.
Doing?
I think he's going to But this is like the only room upstairs. This is the only room.
Unclear.
I think he's going to. Oh my god! God damn it! Fucking. He's gonna try to hide. I don't know what that means, really. I don't care.
I'm a body. I'm a decomposed body. That is 1 bell for you. He did what you did.
He became Edward Torchans?
He became Edward
It's
Torchans.
the second fucking time that him and I were doing the same thing, and I didn't know it.
He became Edward Torchans. So as soon as one starts breathing, he's like, nope, I'm not doing this. And just very calmly, just
Good for
lights
him.
it.
Good for
Just
him.
real chill. He's like, yeah, this is where I draw the line. So he goes back downstairs and he hears people screaming because obviously now they see that their cabin is on fire with all the alive dead bodies in it. And as he's going back down the stairs, there's the old lady at the bottom of the stairs staring right the fuck at him. She's like, gotcha, bitch. So, Kim, what do you do and what does Luke do?
Edward fucking torch hands. I torture. Torch everybody. Torchy, McTorcherson.
Okay.
You know what? Let's try it hand in hand maybe this time, but I don't know.
I'm going to give you Santa again.
Thank you, Santa. It's very soothing.
1 point. Light that bitch up. For real. Edward Torchan's that bitch. He punches her directly square in the face.
Good for him.
And she falls to her demise, I would assume, because she's tiny. So now the villagers are distracted and they're starting to come into the cabin. And in addition, the growling, terrifying tree creature is soups mad. So he starts running towards the fire cabin as well. And the young woman looks towards the woods. Like we see a shot of her like looking towards the woods and seeing this giant thing coming at her to be like, why are my bodies on fire? Luke runs back into the room again. So he was about to go out and then he sees people running at him. So he goes back into the room and he grabs just whatever weapons he can find. Just a whole bunch of weapons. Villagers are now down on the ground, like as it runs past them. They're like, oh, sorry, God. Men,
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. And the creature has a very loud, ancient, angry speak. And Luke hears all of the villagers now screaming. So he grabs his weapon, gun, crossbow. Too dark, couldn't see what it was until man stops him in the doorway and he shoots him. Except there's an ancient what on the gun?
Rune.
Safety. The safety was on. So he fires.
Ancient safety?
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't go. And so the man kind of starts approaching in his own language, being like, don't shoot. And he recocks the gun or whatever the fuck, shoots him. This time it goes off. Ash is now falling on him from the ceiling of the cabin where he lit all the bodies on fire. And he steps over the guy's dead body. And he makes another man, like as he goes through, like get down on the ground so that he can leave. The man that he makes get down on the ground drops an axe. So he picks up the axe. Mm-hmm. So he's gunned and axed right now.
Great.
He's about to walk out the door when he sees the young woman suspended in the air, and he can only see from like her neck down. She's just suspended in the air in the doorway. She is then dropped, and we see that her eyes have been gouged out. And in comes elk branch tree god asshole creature with disproportionately teeny tiny human hands that crawl around the side of the door. Yucky. But it's giant. And I'm like, what are those? Did you borrow those or are they attached to you?
My friend
What
Emily
is happening?
Blackwell has those little hands that go in your fingers. And
That's exactly what it
it's
is.
just like, we always play with the...
So Luke sees tiny hand monster. And he's like, nope. And he runs back through the other way. Like, he's like, I hope there's a back door. Runs back through, gets out, and runs as fast as he can. But he falls, Kristen style. And he looks back, and he sees the creature silhouetted against the burning house, lifting the woman's body up. He's about 20 couches away from this creature. So I took a picture of the creature for you.
Yay.
This is our first real glimpse into what this asshole looks like.
Oh, it is an elk monster.
And now I just sent you a little video where you get to see where those hands come in. Should be on its way to you.
I should watch it now.
Yeah.
No! It has arm whiskers.
Yup. Or like arm tusks, kind of. Yeah.
Yucky.
It's a real bummer. Okay.
Oh my God.
So you see that Luke was standing there 20 couches away holding a gun. He shoots, and it makes the creature drop the woman out of his tiny tusk hands. And nothing happens. Like, the creature doesn't die. He just turns to Luke, like you saw, and Luke's like, oh, fuck. And he gets up and runs.
Uh-huh.
The motherfucker is chasing him through the woods, and then all of a sudden, the liquor store appears again.
No!
So this time,
So
he
many
just
times
runs.
must I fucking do this.
This time, he just runs right through the store. But here's how we understand the illusion of it. The creature is running alongside him and just kind of busts through the, like, shelves of liquor bottles.
Okay.
But, like, so we're in the woods and also in the store. Like,
Right.
It's very fucking weird. I've honestly, like, I can say I've never seen that effect in a horror movie before.
Oh,
Like,
cool.
this kind of thing that's happening. So, runs through the bottles and just picks up Luke and tosses him. Luke then gets up, and the thing is gone. And he turns, and he sees light ahead of him and birds chirping. Then the thing is behind him. He keeps running. The thing picks him up again by his hand tusks and just drops him back further into the woods. It then just stands up to its full crazy height, and at the very top puts its tusk hands together in a praying above my head look, and Luke gets up. Luke tries to get up again, and the thing just steps on him and pushes him down to be like, worship me.
Oh.
So he's on the ground, and he turns his head, and he sees Rob laying next to him. And he sees that the axe that he dropped is between him and Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Final question, what do you do, and what does Luke do?
So he's still in, like, the liquor store-ish?
No, the liquor store he's busted through, and he's run through the liquor store, but now he's laying on the ground, and Rob's body is mirage next to him, and it forces him to see the axe that's near him.
Okay. I'm going to get the axe and become Edward Axehands.
Edward Axehands, all
And
right.
Axe forever.
And what does he do?
Hand in hand. There's no one else around, right? It's like I only see Rob.
all the villagers, we are to believe that the villagers were either killed in the fire or killed by tiny tusk hands.
Great.
There's nobody else.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
That is 2 half points. This is the one and only time where axing forever
Oh no.
is a waste of time.
Oh.
Because but you got 2 half points.
Okay.
He grabs the axe and he axes the creature and hurts it enough, because remember, we shot the creature and it had like no reaction other than like dropping the woman, so like it hurt, but like it didn't take him down. This is like a small little like hatchet.
I just assumed
axe.
it was like a tree close to trees, and axes hurt trees.
It did. It totally hurts him. But he doesn't stay to axe it forever. He gets back up and runs towards the light out of the forest.
Okay.
Because he has figured something out. The creature can't leave the forest.
Ooh.
So the creature is now staring him down on his edge of the forest, and Luke is outside of the forest. And the creature just growls at him, and Luke growls back forever. And just every ounce of pain inside of him, he just roars at this creature.
Yeah.
Cut to Luke walking further out of the forest, and we see a helicopter in the distance. Credits.
Wow. That was
a journey.
A journeyman.
Yeah. So, Sink, what do you say to a forest hiking trip?
Can't wait to go camping.
How does that sound?
Everyone bring your tiny hand tusks.
I love it. How fucking crazy creepy was that creature? It was terrifying.
I don't know why having human arm tusks is the most creepy part to me.
Is the most creepy part. It's because normally you'd be like, what are with your dumb hands? But like, it's scary. You put it all together and you're like, your dumb hands are now scary hands. So strange. Okay, I'm going to count your points.
I'm Nick.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Brian.
We are the Epic Film Guys. We want to let you know that the 4th annual live stream for The Cure is only a couple weeks away.
Every single dollar raised goes to the Cancer Research Institute to help us fight for a future immune to cancer, and once again, donations will be doubled.
Join us May 27th through the 31st for 48 hours of content from creators around the world. Please help us spread the word so we can smash our goal of $10,000.
Please visit www.livestreamforthecure.com to make an early donation and to learn more about the event.
Together, we can make a difference.
Okay, here we go. Your Dead or Alive, you got 3 out of 7.
Classic.
But like, you got... Oh, no, wait. No.
Did you get my bonus half point?
No, you got 4 out of 7, I believe. Now, I might go back and listen, but like, I could have sworn that in my head, I was like, oh, bitch is getting it because you got the first 4 right. But then I only had 3 checked, but I think you had got 4 out of 7. So that's actually better than I thought, because I thought you were doing great when you were like, Rob, dead. Dom, dead. Luke, alive. Phil, dead. And then you were like, then you got all the rest of them wrong.
Sure.
So, and then for questions, you got 18 out of 24.
Nice.
And then you had your half bonus point, which I applied to your total, so it would have been 21.5, but now it's 22. 22 out of 31.
Okay, cool.
Not bad.
That's good.
Yeah.
I felt like actually for my points, I stayed alive almost every time.
You did great. You did great in forest, snow space, narked and shark stir fried.
Feel
forest.
like I survived, but
right.
I think I did.
I'm sure that Luke right now isn't feeling like you survived.
Yeah. There's a
But he did.
real pit in my stomach.
Yeah. So now he has no friends.
Great.
All dead. That's gonna be a pretty high therapy bill.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the ritual. Thank you, patrons. Patrons voted on that.
Thank you to our lovely Sammy patrons. That was fucking miserable to be part of. You all can go fuck yourselves. Just kidding. I love you so much.
You'll have a chance to get me back when you vote for Kim's.
True. Ooh, now I'm gonna pick some fucking. Ooh, I can't wait to pick
good
some good ones next month.
Yeah.
That was still really. I liked the movie, but I hated being in it.
There were so many good choices too. There's nothing like when I'm watching a movie and I'm like, wow, this character has a choice. This character has a choice. This character has a choice.
Yeah.
So much easier than ones where it's like, you're going to get fucked whether you want to fuck or not. Yeah.
I did like becoming Edward Torchhands. That felt really empowering.
Torchhands. Yeah. And then Edward Axehands.
Yeah, that was pretty great. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. You know what? Fun times.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Thank you for listening.
We love you so much.
Please share us with your quarantine friends.
Yeah. I would actually love that. I've seen so many people posting on Twitter being like, I need podcasts to listen to. So if you see someone on Twitter or you're on a Zoom call and somebody is looking for something to do, they're just so bored. Yeah. Tell them about us. We are here to entertain
and
some
quarantine friends.
Yeah, and we're here to just keep you company in your own stir-fry, cabin fever, snow space, narked and sharked forest.
Thank you all for listening. We really love you and for all of your wonderful support. It means a lot. Please follow us at kksampodcast. Give us a rate and review if you haven't on iTunes.
Yeah, and this has been Kim and Kat Stay Alive.
Maybe.
So until next week,
stay alive! See ya!
Ghosted me.
I'm done.